Hey guys, Sandy here, and welcome back to my channel. It is Follow a Sketch Friday. Today I'm using this Page Maps sketch from way back in 2017, and I am going to be scrapbooking these three photos of the Arendelle Aqua color that was all the rage at Disneyland last year, and I'm going to be using my How to Kill a Kit with Style. So let's see what I can do. Now I started out by gutting this glitter paper, and the glitter paper practically matches the ears and the shoes. It doesn't really look like it in the photos, but trust me, it does. So there was this color called Arendelle Aqua, and it was everywhere in the parks. It was in backpacks, it was on ears, it was on shoes, it was on everything. First we got Lana the shoes, and then we went and got her the ears, and she was nice enough to let me try them on, but they are Lana's ears. So I definitely gutted that paper because I want to use more of the glitter paper on the top of the layout and not just the back. Now, since this is a gutted paper, I am going to grab my washi tape and tape it down because you really don't want these kind of torn or cut edges on the back of your layouts. It just adds a layer of protection as you're sliding layouts in and out of your albums. Now, you might only be sliding it in once, but still, it needs that protection. Then I realized that I put on the paper crooked, so I had to peel it off and kind of line up and use my grid mat to get it on correctly. And, you know, I tried to use the grid mat, I moved the paper, and I'm just trying to finagle it around to get it to at least semi look like it is even. And it does. Now I grab this green striped paper just because I like it. I like the teal and the green together. If we added some red, we would have mini Christmas collections, but we're not going to do that because this is not a Christmas layout. I did trim my photos down to the 3.5 by 3.5 size that is in the sketch, and I decided to mat the shoes with the glitter paper. I'm going to mat the photos on some other paper, and that is going to be a purple kind of like hashtag, but not hashtag, hash mark paper. And I'm thinking about, moving the photos so that they are not exactly in a straight line, but ultimately I keep them in the straight line. I feel like this sketch is a little bit different for me. It's not one that I would normally have chosen. It's not one that jumped out at me immediately. What's funny is when I go searching for these sketches, there is definitely a style to the sketch that I like. And this one's just a little bit different. Now, I love the way it turned out. I think it turned out great. I think it's going to go great in the Disneyland album. So I'm not concerned about it or anything like that. It's just a little bit different. Now, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and get those photos mounted on the purple and pink paper. I just love those ears. They are so cute. And then I'm just making sure that I have a little bit of a gap between each one. And I did that by trimming down the sparkle paper a little bit because it was a little bit wonky. So just needed to fix that. So I'm going to go ahead and get those down. And then you can see the ever so slight gap between each of the photos. Now there was kind of that scratchy line around the center photo. I just decided to represent that by the sparkle paper. Now I did grab my fringe scissors down here for where the notebook edge is on the sketch. I'm pretty much following the sketch really well, I think, until probably about this point. This is probably when I just kind of do my own thing, but that's okay. I have this silver foil paper. It is silver stars on kind of a teal green background, and this is from Chamel's last collection with American Crafts called Never Grow Up. I almost said Field Trip, but Field Trip is the space one. So this one is Never Grow Up. It is in the project pad. I just cut it in half and did a quick little trim there so that I could have about a 6-inch block of paper. Now, I know that there are people that just fold their paper over ever so slightly and they can create these great little fishtail banner ends on their papers. I can't do it. I cannot take a simple fold and one simple cut and make it happen. So what I do is find the center of the banner, draw a little pencil line, and then trim from each corner into the end of the pencil line. It works for me. I have success when I do it, so I'm just going to keep doing it. And I know that there are people that are like, you are a maniac. Why can't you do a simple cut like that? I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that there are those of you out there that can't do it either, so we are not alone. And then there are people out there that are like, that's ridiculous. It is so easy to do. But that's okay. I decide not to put a banner edge on this one. Basically, I am really almost following the sketch here. I did put banner edges on the top and the bottom one. But the middle one doesn't have a banner edge, so I decided not to do that. Now, I wanted to have this as my title that says Wake Up and Be Awesome, but I wanted it lifted off the page and I didn't want it to be white. I really wished I could have cut it out of the glitter paper, but this was a pre-made die cut. It's not something I cut out. So I'm just leaving it there and trying to figure out what in the world I'm going to do elsewhere. So I figure where I'm going to put my fringe, and I just like it. Fringe is fun. Fringe is definitely fun. So we go ahead and get that down, and then I'm thinking, we got to make something happen. Now this little filled sequin heart is something that I had made for another layout. I did not like it. It was too bright of a blue, so it didn't really make it onto that layout, but I saved it because I thought it would be good for another layout. And since there is a whole bunch of beautiful blue sparkly goodness, I thought it would be great for a layout about blue sparkly accessories. I did take my Nuvo drops and fill in the center of that heart just to kind of not have such a deep dark blue in the heart. Now I'm using those same Nuvo drops and I am just using them as basically a paste, and I am rubbing the drops over top of the pre-made die cut. Now I am putting this on in very thin layers, so it does dry pretty quickly, and then I'm going to add a little bit of a heat gun to it just to really just make that happen. And then you can see I turned it upside down and had to smooth out the drops. So I'm just going to take it, set it on top of my splat box, and use my heat gun to heat it up. Now this is a box from IKEA, if you couldn't tell by the Kavissel name. And it's just a great size. Like a 12 by 12 piece of paper fits in it great. It was a nice clean box, and it works. It'll work until it gets so gunked up and gross, and then I'll throw it away, and then hopefully we'll have another box by then. So there we go. I have Wake Up and Be Awesome. Now I'm going to grab some little foam dots here. And I do use the Scrapbook.com foam dots. They are a nice thin foam dot. They're not going to give you a huge amount of dimension off of your page, but what I like about them is that they come in multiple sizes, and I'm more concerned with the size of the dot than the height of the dot, because you can always double up the dots. You can always, double that stuff up. It's fine. It'll give you a different level of dimension. But it's nice to have these little guys so that they'll fit in the little spaces where these letters are. So I just put some down. Not a whole heck of a lot of them, just enough to lift this off the page. And then I'm like, yep, this little guy's got to go over here. And I think about putting him over on the other side, because in the sketch, all of the embellishment is on the right-hand side of the page. But I don't like that. I think that this circle heart wood veneer thing needs to, that was a mouthful. Anyway, this embellishment needs to be on the left-hand side of the page. It needs to balance it out. So I pull these stickers from the Close to My Heart sticker sheet, and also these little clouds, and I really think the clouds are cute. They're white with an outline of the teal blue. I popped the one up on some foam squares just to give it a little bit of lift. And then I'm going to take this green sticker here that is laying down on my sheet, and I'm going to place it around the layout. So I have blue, I have dark green, and I have teal. So I just have a whole mix of the spectrum from blue to green, and I'm just going to continue that. First though, before I start messing around with that sticker, I'm going to grab some epoxy flare from Scrap and Happy Studio. These are some black and white ones, which go great with just about anything. So I'm going to make sure that they get on the page. And then I'm also going to use this circle sticker. I'm repeating that circle shape in a couple different places. I was looking for a heart to place on top of it, and just decided to grab the one off of the Rosie Studio sticker sheet, and I like it. It gives it a little extra oomph and a little extra pop than just leaving it. So I went ahead and put that sticker down at the bottom. Now in the sketch, that extra little banner-y thing is on the top, but I decided that I liked it better on the bottom. So that's what I did. Now I'm also going to add in a little bit over here where my title is, just to give that little circle thing a little bit more interest. And how many times can I say little in like 30 seconds? Apparently a ton. So now, and so, I think I've said so 12 times. Now I have this epoxy flare, and I've just got to figure out what I'm going to do with it down here. I really don't want my embellishment to be over on the right hand side, because then I'm going to have basically a straight line of these circles, and I already have a straight line of rectangles and a straight line of squares. So, you know, is it really that big of a deal if I have a straight line of circles? Well, in the moment it sure as heck was. Just didn't want it. So I have these Amy Tangerine Picnicked in the Park puffy stickers, and I'm just taking some of the hearts and little teal colored things and putting them around the layout. Now this is a sticker that says, "I am loving this." It came off of the Close to My Heart sticker sheet, and I decide to layer it up over top of that green and white sticker. And then I am putting the circle in a line, even though 10 seconds ago I didn't want that to happen. I quickly got over it. Now, one thing I did do was go back to one of my sticker sheets in my kit and grab these snowflake stickers. So Arendelle Aqua comes from Frozen, in case you didn't know that. So I figured the nod to Frozen was there if I would have put these cardstock snowflake stickers down. Plus, where we live, I don't get a whole heck of a lot of opportunity to scrapbook snow pictures, and believe you me, I am thankful for that, because I am not a fan of the cold. Just not a fan. So I figure I will use these snowflake stickers now on something that gives a nod to Frozen. Now these little stars are super fun. These are Love from Lizzie peel-offs. Love from Lizzie is a website. It is an English website, and she has a monthly card kit, and she also sells other things. Now I do get the monthly card kit, and I don't think I've ever made a card with her card kit. I scrapbook with them. But I discovered the peel-offs, and she makes these in straight lines, which are awesome. And then she also now has hearts and stars. So I'm just going to sprinkle around these black stars around my page, around all the little clusters. And I'm just giving it that extra pop of black because basically I have this one black element on my layout, and that is one of the background papers. So I need to bring it up a little bit. I need to bring that background up so it doesn't feel like it's such a separate layer. And we're just doing that through the epoxy and also now through the stars. And I do put some of the stars right over top of the photo. I am not concerned about that one little bit. So I take another peek at my puffy stickers to see if there's any other colors or shapes I want to add. And I think I do add a couple little more hearts because, you know, I've already got hearts and stars on the layout. And I think hearts and stars are something you can definitely mix. Like you don't have to be like, oh, I can only have stars on my layout, or oh, I can only have hearts on this layout. No, mix them up. Do your thing. Do whatever makes you happy. If hearts and stars make you happy, do that. If just hearts makes you happy, do that. I mean, heck, if butterflies make you happy, put them on your page. So now I am grabbing some of these sequins, and this is Oopsie-Daisy, which is the sequins that I used to fill that wood veneer circle with. I obviously did not use any of the yellow ones, so I have probably a little extra abundance of yellow ones left in my bag. But I'm not using the yellow ones here. Again, no need to introduce yet another color onto this layout. I just go ahead and kind of grab the swirly blue ones, and I'm using some Nouveau Deluxe adhesive to get those dropped down. Now these are Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins, and fun fact, if you go to the Spiegel Mom Scraps website and order some sequins, you can use the code SANDY15. That'll get you 15% off of your order. I think it's on just about everything except for pre-orders, because pre-orders already have a discount and you can't double dip. So now that the sequins are on there, that's going to do it for this layout, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for joining me for Follow a Sketch Friday, and I will see you again real soon for another video.